Welcome to Nostalgic Necro, and today in the arena we are playing this very interesting Izzet Prowess deck that really got my attention because a user by the name of kmrii has a very impressive 82% win rate with it based off 49 games. Now of course, as I always mention on this channel, 49 games is not enough to ascertain the true win rate of a deck, but you see 82%, 49 games, you go, okay, this is something interesting here. Let's check it out. Let's try it for ourselves. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And this deck is pretty standard Izzet Prowess. It's got on turn 1 a whole bunch of Prowess 1-drops that you can play with the Elusive Otter. Not really that interested in the adventure side. And we also have the Storm Chaser's talent that gives us a 1/1 Prowess Otter, and then it also has these other levels. The level 2 is particularly important because you can use it to get more instants and sorceries from your graveyard to power up Prowess. Now in the 2-drop slot we have Drakecatcher. I found Drakecatcher to be a very difficult card to stop people from killing. It really is a lightning rod for removal, but if you can keep it on the board, it can be very powerful, especially if you can pump it up with something like Wild Ride. Then you can immediately, if you can deal combat damage to your opponent, you can get value out of the incubation counters and get these 2/2 flyers. So very powerful. Slickshot, of course, everyone knows from mono red, very powerful flying bird that has very powerful buffs to get +2/+0 every time you cast a non-creature spell. And then this Balmor Battlemage Captain is very cool. It sort of acts as the support for the whole team, because if you can get this down, then for example your Otter would get +1/+1 from the Prowess trigger, but it would also get +1/+0 from the Battlemage. So if you've got a wide board state, this card is very good. And then the whole idea for the deck is we want to cast a lot of very cheap instants and sorceries to trigger the Prowess. So what have we got? Well, we've got Wild Ride. Very powerful card, +3/+0 haste, and can also harmonize. The harmonize ability is very good because your creatures have prowess anyway, so they're actually gaining power, and therefore you can actually often use that to get the harmonize for cheaper. And then we also have burst lightning as interaction. We have spell pierce as, you know, a pretty useful counterspell in certain situations. Of course, sleight of hands, very cheap way to dig for stuff. Opt, another cheap way to dig for more instants and sorceries. Into the Floodmaw is very useful interaction to bounce maybe a blocker that you can't get through. And then 2 cards that I haven't played with before, the Magic Damper. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains hexproof until end of turn. So this is a pretty cool card. But the card that I'm really excited to try is the Secret Identity. I saw this for the first time on Mythic's Mike's channel, and I thought it was a really cool card because it's got 2 modes. And I always say, you know, in best of 1, I always like cards that have 2 modes. They give me so much flexibility. So this card has 2 modes. The first mode is your creature gets hexproof and it becomes a 1/1, which makes it a bit more vulnerable. But you know, if it's got hexproof, it's probably okay. And then the other option is very good for a prowess deck because the reveal side makes a creature a 3/4 and it gains flying and vigilance. So if you cast it on something like the Slickshot, it becomes a 3/4. It also gets the +2/+0 because it keeps its abilities, and then it gets flying and vigilance. Of course, the Slickshot already has flying, so it doesn't need that, but if it didn't have flying, it would still get flying. So if you did it on something like the Otter would get flying. So that's very cool. And then for the lands, nothing too spectacular, but I am running these 4, or the deck runs these 4 multiversal passages. Very flexible mana card to just get whatever mana you need in that situation. And I think it's very good because it does also power up the Verges. So I think combining the Verges with the multiversal passage makes a lot of sense in a lot of multicolored decks. But yeah, that's what we're doing today. And as always, I may be the Nostalgic Necro, but I'm putting my nostalgia aside because kmrii had a very impressive run with this deck, and I want to find out, can we replicate that success with this very interesting Izzet Prowess deck? Let's find out how it does for us in the arena today. Okay, how you guys doing? Okay, I was pretty excited to play this deck, and I played a bunch of games in Unranked, and I have not had nearly as much success as kmrii has had. So I just decided to just jump into Ranked and let's see what happens, but at this point I'm not expecting too much. Got a mull that, got no creatures, that's better. Keep. Ditch a burst lightning. This is a pretty good start, right? So yeah, when I saw this deck, I was very excited because it's got a high win rate, and you know, Izzet Prowess is pretty good. And so far it has not been that good for me, but we are gonna see how it goes. Start with offering the trade here. Opponent does take the trade. They're very scared of this otter. Let's play out the other otter here. We don't need to throw this Drake Hatcher into removal yet. Black is often playing lots of removal. Get land, which is pretty nice. Let's go for the opt here. Slickshot is good. Don't say no to Slickshot. Opponent's certainly got removal. So I think we'll just plot the Slickshot. Don't really want to play it into open mana. Unholy Annex. Interesting. So opponent's going to be taking lots of damage here. It's really nice, actually. Yeah, I think we just do this. And go for the Drake Hatcher. Try to get a wide board state. We need to hope to draw something to power up all of these prowess creatures next turn. 6/6 Demon. Beginning of each combat, any opponent may sacrifice a creature of their choice. If a player does, untap this creature and put a 1/1 counter on it. Okay, so they unfortunately start getting life with a very powerful 6/6. Oh boy. It's not good. Decline. Creature of their choice. If a player does, tap this. Oh, I could have tapped it. Whoops. Okay. Should have tapped that and probably won the game. I haven't seen this card before. Desecration Demon. So you just sacrifice one of your creatures and it gets tapped. Okay, it's a pretty cool card for this deck because it pairs nicely with the Annex. It's a demon that you can get down pretty early. See if opponent attacks here. They do. They do attack. I wonder if that gives us a little bit of an opening. We'd need to draw one hell of a draw to be able to get out of this situation. Another Slickshot. I think we keep another Slickshot here. Play it directly. I don't think it's going to be enough, but it's not bad. Decline. When it's down to 4, we get a Drake Hatcher that we can use for an incubation token. Let's see what opponent does here. We're not totally out of this. Slash is fine. Strategic Betrayal. Do we get rid of the Hatchet? It can block the Desecration Demon, but it doesn't really matter. I guess so. Yeah, we'll do this, and actually we can block the Desecration Demon, decline. We can block the Desecration Demon if they don't attack now. I mean, sorry, we can tap the Desecration Demon if they don't attack. The Strategic Betrayal also got rid of all the stuff in our... Okay, that's really good, right? Is that enough to win? I think it is, right? We do this. Pump up everything. Create a 1/1. We sack you. Tap it down and attack. Okay, woo boy. I really think I got pretty lucky there. I actually completely misread this Desecration Demon, and it kind of threw me off my game plan. It's actually a pretty good demon because, you know, the truth is, since we lost the Archfiend of the Dross, there's not really a 4-mana demon that can come down and do something impactful, and at least this thing starts getting you life with the Unholy Annex. That's pretty cool. Okay, it's nice to start off with a win there because I was pretty nervous jumping into the ranked queue. My results, like I said, in unranked have not been that great, unfortunately. So I'm really happy to get that first win there. I mean, this is a good hand. I just wish we were on the play. Go for this little otter here. Next turn, we can either go for the Balmor Battlemage Captain or try and take something out with the Burst Lightning. Let's think about that when the time comes. The board state can change. They might have the Sheltered by Ghosts here. I don't think they would use it on the Otter though. They decide to take out my poor little Otter. That's kind of sad. Oh boy, we don't draw land. So what do? We either go for this Balmor Captain. I think I'm happy to go for this. They would need to find a way of dealing at 3 damage. What do they have? They have the Lightning Helix, right? And start digging for stuff. If this thing dies, we're gonna have to find a creature and quick. Okay, they go for a goblin and they don't attack. So what does that mean? I think we start with the sleight of hands here. Take Slickshot. So what do we do now? I think we have to plot the Slickshot, or do we just go in for damage? I think you have to plot the Slickshot and try to get in for a lot of damage next turn with all these sleights of hands and stuff, but we're going to need them to tap out. Otherwise the Slickshot's going to be very vulnerable. They do actually tap out. That's really good. Can we actually win this turn with Slickshot? I don't think we can. Ooh, double Slickshot, man. Okay, I wish I was better at maths here, but this is going to be so much damage. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This thing, each one of these will give it more. I think I'm just going to go for it. I don't know if it's possible to deal this much damage, but I'm going to try. We do need land to keep doing stuff, so I'll take land. Like, how much does this get to? It's pretty crazy, right? We could also draw like Wild Ride. We do get Wild Ride. Put this on the Slickshot. Hello. And yeah, we just burst lightning. Oh boy, that's insane. That's crazy. Oh my word. Okay, I was like, that's a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. I wasn't sure if I should wait one more turn to try get one more Slickshot down, but man, with the, what's this card called? With this Balmor Battlemage Captain and the Slickshot and then hitting all these ops and stuff, that is how you win with this deck, I think. It's the Slickshot's really key to pulling off those huge damage wins in one turn. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, my confidence is growing with this deck. Maybe, you know, sometimes you just need a little bit of experience with the deck. I don't know if you guys have ever had this, but sometimes I take one of these decks that I've never played before and I take a bunch of losses in unranked or whatever, and then suddenly something just clicks. Like, you can't fully explain it. You just like start figuring out the lines and all of a sudden you start playing a lot better with it. Okay, this spell pierce is crucial. This seems like it's control. So I think what we're going to do is plot Slickshot here, attack with the Otter, plot another Slickshot next turn, and then try to go for huge damage with Spell's Pierce protecting. Okay, it's not going to work anymore because I just got Authority of the Consoles down. Change of plan. Change of plan. We're going to play these Slickshots up front here. And let's see how bad this is. Pinnacle Starcage. That is rough. Okay, I think my luck has just run out with this deck a little bit. Should I have anticipated that? I don't know, hey, like, can you really... You kind of just have to hope they don't have it, right? I did have the Spell Pierce though, so I'm kind of a bit irritated with myself. Because I know this deck plays Pinnacle Starcage, and just to throw everything there is probably not the smartest thing actually in retrospect. Okay, well, I think that one's definitely partially on me. I should have been a little bit more patient there against a deck, a nemesis, that I know pretty well by now. Okay, well, I'm still a little bit disappointed with myself for that. Maybe a little bit of my, you know, vacation rust coming into play there. I feel like that wasn't my sharpest reasoning. Opponent goes first. We only have one creature. Always risky to keep, you know, not a creature, but you know what I mean. Only one way of generating a creature. And the opponent can take nothing. That's pretty good. Okay, so you always start with the Elusive Otter because the Storm Chaser's talent pumps up the Otter. So just keep that in mind. You do not want to start with the Storm Chasers if you have the Otter as well. So what is this? Discard? And then plays another Swamp. This is a card that I really like. I saw it on Mythic Mike's channel for the first time. It's a very, very cool card. So I think we just do this. And we'll know about the Spell Pierce, but I think it's fine. And they don't know about the Secret Identity. Try to hold up here. Hope that the opponent doesn't use removal here because they know about the Spell Pierce. They decide to use it. Do we use the Hexproof Protection here? I think it's worth it. Keep our creature. Don't use the Spell Pierce. I think they... I feel like the reason they use Shoot the Sheriff, they know we have Spell Pierce, so they obviously want to play something bigger, and they were trying to get us to use the Spell Pierce on the Shoot the Sheriff. That's kind of my thinking. Because again, they know we have it, so why would they do that? Maybe I'm wrong, we'll find out. Okay, Slasher is a problem, but we do have Floodmaw, it's okay. I think we'll start with Optia though, we really need to hit this land. Let's hope we hit land here. We do hit lands. Bounce the Slasher. Oh, whoops, this only provides red mana. I think we just go for this now then while the opponent's tapped out. I would have liked to hold up Spell Pierce, but then I realized that this only is providing me with red mana right now. Okay, down to 6. Got 4 damage with the Burst Lightning. So that's something. Okay, opponent plays another Slasher. We draw land, so it's pretty good. So, let me just think here. We could hold up Spell Pierce. But Wild Ride, it gets haste. I think what I'm going to do though is this. And get back the Secret Identity, because it can give us a 3/4 flyer vigilance. And we'll try to win next turn. Because 3/4 plus Burst Lightning, we should have enough damage here, so long as the opponent can't kill all our stuff this turn. Ruthless Negotiation. Get rid of the Spell Pierce. Opponent's been stuck on 3 land this whole game. I'm sure they're not that thrilled with that situation. Okay, that's great, but... I think it's better just to attack and double Burst Lightning, because they could have removal. Yeah, okay, let's just do that. We don't actually need this because we drew another Burst Lightning. Okay. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, we're fine because we do this. And even if they have removal, we can protect it with the Secret Identity, so that's okay. So now if they have removal, they've got to use it on this, but we have this Secret Identity to protect it. Lucky us, lucky us. Okay, nice win there, actually. You know, like I was saying, maybe sometimes you just need a bit of experience with the deck to get to a point where you can navigate it well, and maybe that's kind of what happened. Something clicked in my brain at some point with this deck, but let's see. Still early days. Still got a couple of games to go. See how it performs. Okay, let's see if we can get another win here. Opponent goes first. I never liked that. Got the Otter. 2 creatures, got some counterspell stuff going on here. It's not bad, right? It's not bad. I think we start with the... Start with this for blue. Then we can get this thing down next turn. And basically have access to all the colors we need. Waiting for the opponent here to get going. Brutus Wild Wolf. Okay, that changes things. Oh no, it doesn't. We had already had another one in hand. So I think, yeah, we do this for blue. Pay 2 life. So let's see what opponent does this turn, but next turn we can either play another Otter and protect our board state with Spell Pierce, or we go for the Balmor Battlemage Captain. Okay, we found an opponent who really takes their time. I don't mind that. I know some people get a little bit irritated when people take their time. You know, let people think about things. So long as it's not like ropey behavior and it's genuinely someone thinking about what the best play is, it doesn't really bother me. Okay, they clearly have removal. They're trying to figure out if they want to take out this Otter now or later. They go for the bats. It's pretty sad. Pretty sad indeed. It really is taking a lot of time to make the decision though, but it is a hard decision. I think Spell Pierce is the right option. They don't go for Spell Pierce. Okay. It's kind of interesting. I guess that kind of determines what we're doing here. We're going for this. And attacking in with this Otter. So now the opponent knows about the Spell Pierce. That's kind of the big problem here. They know to play around it now. Still don't exactly know what this opponent's up to. We know they're Orzhov. And we know they play the bats. Other than that, we don't have too much information. The sleeves don't really give everything away. Grim Bauble. Okay. Yeah, this Spell Pierce is kind of useless now because can kind of get around everything. What is this deck, though? Okay, I really need to not draw land. Okay, Slickshot's good. Gotta go for the starting town. I think we have to do... Slickshot, yeah. Maybe I should have plotted it. We just have to go for max damage here. I'm just have to hope the opponent doesn't have removal. They clearly have some interaction. We could have also plotted the Slickshot and tried to hold up one turn, but they got nowhere to run. Okay, they go for the Otter. Okay, if this Slickshot dies, I think we're probably toast. And it's talent. Okay, this is like a discard deck. Sure, I guess we'll discard this. Oh man. Yeah. I think we just toast here. I mean, we got Slickshot, but no way of pumping it up now. I was just trying to think, if I had declined discarding the Spell Pierce, could I have only discarded one? I think so. I could have... When this class enters, each opponent discards 2 cards unless they discard a non-land card. So had I declined, I would have had to discard my entire hand. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna win that one. That was a pretty rough game, and this is kind of what I'm finding with this deck. When you draw your Slickshot and stuff like that, it really can pop off, but it can feel a bit lonely when you only have like one Otter or something like that, and your opponent's like on 20 life, and you're trying to like whittle them down. It's either very explosive or not explosive enough. That's currently the way I'm feeling about it. Okay, I want to be on the play, please. I feel like this deck is way better on the play. Can start getting that prowess action going. Okay, that's cool. And we got the secret identity. And we got all these things. Yeah, this is a good hand. Play this, play the Otter first, like I said, so that next turn the Storm Chaser's talent can pump it up. We can also play the Drake Hatcher. We'll see what color the opponent plays. That'll determine our decision here. Okay, they've got a tapped land. What do they get? They go for green. I think I'd rather get in with the Drake Hatcher. It's a bit of a gamble, kind of just hoping that they don't have removal on turn 2. But if they don't, then we can protect, and we got this to trigger prowess. I think it might be worth it. Let's see what comes down. Watery Grave, they do have removal. Okay, that's kind of sad that my gamble didn't really pay off there, unfortunately. Go for this. Hold up here and try to next turn get in with this Opt. Man, if this Drake Hatcher just survived, I would have been in a much better position right now. Maybe I should have held the secret identity for that. Okay, we get another Storm Chaser's talents. I'm happy to start with the Opt here. See what we can find. Some sort of counter spell would be great. If we can find the Spell Pierce, don't need you. Get another land, unfortunately. We get a lot of prowess triggers here. Opponent has not done anything there. So they either don't have removal or they're not that worried about this board state. No sweeper that I'm not aware of, right? This is going to have to be very important to protect something, because the opponent's going to have some trick up their sleeve here. Without a doubt. Next turn we can make something 3/4 plus prowess. It's 4 damage. There's an additional cost to cast a spell, collects evidence X, destroy up to 1 target artifact, up to 1... Okay, well we're gonna have to... I'm just trying to think, do we rescue it? So this dies and this dies. So I'm just thinking. So next turn we can deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not enough to kill them, but if we draw one more... I think I'd rather be aggressive with this, is what I'm thinking. If we draw something that can trigger prowess, we do. I think we can get the win now, right? Because we opt. Oh boy. Don't need you. But I think it's going to be fine anyway, because the secret identity is going to do a lot of work for us. And then secret identity, applying power and toughness 3/4. And then it also gets the benefit of the, you know, the buff that it gets. So, oof, okay. Nice win there. And, of course, this deck doesn't seem to be playing sweepers. I think we're very vulnerable to decks that play sweepers. But single removal, especially when we draw quite a lot of creatures and build up a bit of an army, and attacking with all that prowess stuff, could be pretty tricky for control if they don't play sweepers. Okay, I think I'm currently 4-2 with this deck. And... yeah, it's feeling a lot smoother. I just think maybe I figured out some of the lines. I don't know, maybe it's just also luck. Very hard to tell with these things, you know. Are you becoming a better player? Is it just luck? I don't know. I don't know, man. I just want to play Magic. So, I haven't really got this Drake Hatcher going, have I? I can't remember if in any of the games I played I've got it going. In the unranked games, I definitely got it going a couple of times and created some flies. It's pretty cool when that works out. Siren. Start with an attack here. I don't think the opponent will block. If they do, we'll protect the Otter. Then we'll go for the Drake Hatcher. Hope that it doesn't die. I really want this Drake Hatcher to survive. Just once, come on. Hitting it with Wild Ride would be awesome. Ah, okay. It's the Ouroboroid Simic deck. I really want to revisit this deck at some point. It's very cool. So. It has to deal combat damage, right? Gotta deal combat damage. Start with the sleight of hands here. Just see what we get. Burst Lightning or Slickshot. Wow, what do you take here? Man, Slickshot is just so good. I think I'm taking Slickshot. Let's attack here. See if the opponent decides to block. If they do, we can opt. I think it's worth it. Killing this Imago. This Imago is a pain. I think it's worth it. Another Drake Hatcher. So, of course, unfortunately now we don't get to plot the Slickshot, but I think getting rid of this... Maybe I'm overestimating how bad this card is, but I think it's pretty bad. Also, it would... Yeah, I don't know, maybe that wasn't the right move. Okay, that's interesting, but I'm not sure how relevant this is against them. I think we'll just go for damage here. Wild Ride on the Drake Hatcher. Force them to block. So we've dealt with a lot of their threats. They've felt that they've had to block, which is pretty good. Ouroboroid. Okay, that's not ideal. Will they attack with the Siren? They hold it back, actually. That's problematic. Oh boy, if we had one more land, we could actually have taken out this Ouroboroid. Well, we have to do this, because we can't have this thing growing bigger. And now I think we Wild Ride. Tapping the Otter. Eight damage. So we need to hit them for 3 more. So we need to draw. Well, first of all, we need them to not have a flyer. They do have a flyer. That's a problem. That's sad. And they got these map tokens as well. Oh boy. Okay, I think I don't like our chances here anymore. We almost got there. Damn. Another Slickshot. We have no way of pumping it up. I think we play this Drake-Hatcher. Hope that they don't have another flyer and try to surprise them next turn with the Slickshot attack. Because we can block you. Okay, that's fine. Let's see if they attack with the Spyglass Siren. Thing's about to get absolutely huge here. But it doesn't have trample. That's the important thing. I don't think there's anything in this deck that Spell Pierce is good for. You know, Spell Pierce, it's always like the best card or the worst card. Oh, we don't... okay, well, we're not out of the woods yet. I mean, we're not dead yet, is what I'm trying to say. We still have blockers here. Let's get this down. So we have 2 blockers, and we can block the stuff on the ground as well. Not out of it yet. Opponent has some interaction? What's going on here? Opponent's thinking. I wonder if they have some interaction. If they had interaction for the Slickshot, we would have seen it last turn, right? I don't think this deck plays any interaction. Maybe Floodmaw? Maybe? Opponent is timing out here. Please come back, opponent. I think this game is actually pretty exciting, to be honest. Like, if we just draw one instant or sorcery, we can actually get the win. Because they only have 1 flyer, and we got 2 Slickshots, and we can also have this Balmor. So I think this game is pretty interesting. The reason I'm not playing the Slickshot is I want to surprise them with it, potentially. Patchwork. Okay, this is going to be our last turn, I think. I think next turn, they're not really going to be able to deal with anything. They're going to have too many attackers. Okay, so they attack. So we have to block, block, and block. Does anything have trample? Oh, this has trample? I didn't realize this has trample. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that has trample. Nice. I wish I could look at the next card in my deck, but yeah, we actually had a chance to win there. Had we just drawn an instance or sorcery to power up the Slickshot Show-Off. Okay, well, I'm currently 4-3 with this deck, so we're going to play one more game here and see if we can either prove that it's a winning deck, or maybe we get to that draw phase. We'll find out how it goes, but we're on the draw, so that's never a good sign. And we don't have a turn 1 play. Spyglass Siren. Okay. Just play this, do nothing else. Is this, what is this? Dimir Midrange, potentially? Play this. Red. I actually thought this was starting town, which is why I played it. Otherwise I would have probably just played this. Phantom Interference, our Drake Hatcher. And man, if Kaido comes down now, I'm going to be so sad. They always have Kaido though. Okay, they don't have Kaido because they map up. We just go for another one of these. I mean, it's almost certainly going to get pounded here by another Phantom Interference. Try get a bit of a board state going. I think this Drake... Man, this Drake Hatcher just cannot catch a break. How many times have I played this thing and it just dies almost immediately? Okay, well next turn if we don't... If we just get this little otter to survive, please. It would be really nice. Okay, Slickshot is good, and we have a way of protecting Slickshot as well. We'll do this on blue, right? We need lots of blue. Blue. Let's go for sleight of hands here. I think we hold... oof. I'm gonna take the burst lightning here and try to kill this thing. That puts Drowner. We go for the Slickshot. I'm happy to kill this Floodpit's Drowner though, so that they can't shuffle away the Slickshot. Okay, I really need them not to kill this Floodpit's Drowner. I mean, not to kill the Slickshot. I've got to protect it with Secret Identity. That's really good. I think we have to hold this opt. So we could play the Storm Chaser's talent and get something, but then we lose the ability to protect our stuff. I think we have to take this risk. Go for the burst lightning here. Yeah, this is a very important turn. I think if they had removal, we would have seen it by now. But being tapped out in this situation is very scary. Okay, that's not... I mean, it's bad, but it's not a completely unworkable situation. Can we actually deal 14 damage in one turn? I don't know. Start with opt here. Sleight of hands is good. We get more buff. Five. Oh, we don't hit. Damn. Damn. Okay. So this would be... Let's see if they block. See if they block here. Gonna definitely attack in with this otter. They have a Floodpit's Drowner. So we have to give our thing hexproof, right? We have to give it hexproof. Okay. Opponent scoops? Oh, why did they scoop? Wait, hold on a second. Why did they scoop there? I think we were dead. Hold on. We attacked with this and this. Okay, this would have been 2, 9. Oh, it's 11, right? 2, and 11. I would have dealt them 11. And then they would win on 1. And they just block one of these things with the Otter. And then next turn they just win. I think, am I missing something? I think opponent had that game in the bag. I'll have to do the maths again later, but I think we would have lost that game. Welcome back. I put my nostalgia aside because I was really curious to try out this version of Izzet Prowess. It also has no VV, by the way, which is always a good thing. None of us want to see that VV anymore. But yeah, I am very surprised by his very high and impressive win rate. My experience with this deck has been significantly different, both in unranked and with the ranked games that I played today. I found that the win rate to be a lot closer to something like 50%. It can be very, very explosive with Slickshot Show-Off, and then, if you can get this down and then, start chaining the opts and the sleight of hands and then sort of finishing things off with the wild ride. It's very, very powerful, but you really need quite a lucky draw to get there. The Drake Hatcher is a card that this is actually the first time I've played with. It's always a card that I've wanted to play. I do have nightmares from it from the days of Steel Cutter, and it is a very powerful card. Unfortunately, I couldn't really get it going in the ranked games today. And I also really like the Secret Identity. This is a card that's very cool in prowess decks because the two sides do something so good for this deck. The first side allows you to protect something, and the other side basically lets you trigger prowess and increase, the power of your base prowess creature, which generally has got, very low toughness. So this is a very cool card. Now, the other thing I just wanted to mention is I did go on Untapped after recording this video, and I actually found that there's a very similar list to this that has something like a 50.6% win rate based on 330 games or something like that. So just be aware that I don't exactly know how kmrii is getting such a high and impressive win rate, but that is probably more what you can expect based on a higher sample size. So just be aware of that if you do want to craft this deck. It is pretty cool, but don't expect necessarily to have those insane win rates that kmrii is putting on. He clearly has some way of navigating this deck that I haven't quite figured out. But anyway, that will be the gameplay for today, and I do hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, stay tuned and consider subscribing, because there's going to be more nostalgic necro coming soon.